Hey guys, hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to another video. I'm sorry that it's probably been about a week since the last video. I've just been a bit busy, so hopefully I should be back on making some more videos. I'm being more productive really. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, today I'm going to be showing you 3 miniatures in chess. And if you're wondering what a miniature is, it's the term used for a game that is very short, where a game that usually ends in some really quick mating attack or some tactic or something like that. And today I've chosen 3 of some of the ones that I've seen and I thought were some of the funniest or the best. So yeah, definitely make sure you keep watching and let's get into it. Okay, so the first miniature was a game played during the 1800s and it was in the fried liver attack. If you don't know what the fried liver attack is, I actually made a video on it, so make sure you check that out. There will be a link in the top right hand corner of your screen, so definitely make sure you give it a look before you come and look at this game. But yeah, if you do know it, today's your lucky day, so let's get into it. So we go into the normal fried liver attack, and here black makes the mistake of taking on d5 with the knight. Usually here, instead of taking with the knight, black usually plays knight a5 and we go into some weird line where we block and there's a big trade on c6. But yeah, I explained that more in depth in the other video. So yeah, so after black takes, obviously white will take the knight on f7. After king takes, queen takes, attacking the king and the knight. And the only way to defend both pieces is to play king to e6. So now white tries to add more pressure. Black defends. White plays d4, trying to open up the king here, because if black takes, then the king is open to all sorts of checks, you know. So obviously black doesn't take, he defends his knight, and now white takes the pawn. Black plays knight g6, trying to target the pawn, but notice now how after white's move castles, the pawn can't be taken because of rook e1, just pinning the knight to the king, and the knight will more than likely be won, and we will regain our material and we'll get a better position. Because remember, we sacrificed our knight on f7, so we definitely want to make sure we win this game. So yeah, after castles, black plays bishop b4, trying to trade off this knight and eliminate some of this pressure on the king. So white moves the knight away, because obviously since we are down material, we've sacrificed a piece for a good attack, so we want to keep as many pieces as we can. Maybe the knight's going to hop into f4, maybe to g3, who knows. So black plays rook f8, targeting the queen, and now black just gives a check, so queen can't be taken just yet. After king d7, white plays queen h3, and now you can see the queen is actually starting to run out of squares, so can't come here, and here would probably be just ridiculously dangerous after a move like this. You know, who knows what would happen. But after queen h3, king comes here, because obviously he doesn't want to move to this square here, and now queen just calmly picks up the pawn, because we're attacking the knight, we're attacking this pawn, and what black is really struggling with what he's going to do now. So black takes the pawn on e5 with the knight, queen takes knight, and now after knight d7, black is actually completely lost, so I'll give you a couple of seconds to see if you can find the move that white plays here that just wins on the spot. Congratulations if you managed to find it, and the move is actually knight e6. It's not a very difficult move to find, but as you can see, it forks the king, queen and rook, and we're just going to win everything here. So yeah, that is the first miniature. Now on to the second one. Here is the second game, and it is in the opening called the Bird's Opening. Now if you don't know what this is, all it is just the move 1 f4 by white. And this opening is slightly dubious because it does control the center, however it does expose this dark square diagonal to the king. So now black's reply, e5, sets out to expose this dark square diagonal because it maybe wants to give themselves some ideas of queen h4 check. So now after takes, black plays d6, and the idea of this is that after takes and bishop takes, black has one more piece developed than white. And now notice if white plays a slow move like knight c3 after queen h4 check and g3, black is actually completely winning here with the moves takes, h takes, and bishop takes, which is just mate. So that gives you a sort of idea for how dangerous the position can potentially become if white's not careful. So now instead of knight c3, black played knight f3, and now black decides to start the attack with g5. White plays d4, attacking the g pawn, and now white plays f5. And this actually isn't a very good move because white can actually just take this pawn. And what this does for white is now by hitting the queen with tempo, he's actually gaining some time. So now after the queen has to move, we can just play a developing move like knight c3. And what white has done here is he has actually won a pawn, and he is now more developed than black, with 3 pieces developed compared to black's 2, and I don't really think you could say a queen. And if we look at the kings, yeah, black's king was weak with this dark squares, but it's not really going to be exposed anytime soon. However, white's king is very open to any sort of attacks. So again, that gives you an idea for how quickly the position can just flip. So white didn't actually end up playing bishop takes g5 and instead played h3. And I think he was afraid of these g4 ideas here, but ironically what it does is it just makes it stronger. So now after g4, h takes and f takes, white plays knight g5, and this is actually completely lost for white. It's checkmate in 2 for black. I'll give you a couple of seconds to see if you can find it. And well done if you managed to find it. And the first move that starts this checkmating sequence is bishop to g3 check. And now, as you can see, the king is now forced to d2, and now the queen comes screaming down, takes on d4, which is mate. As you can see, all these squares are covered, and yeah, that's it. Now on to the third miniature. Here is the third and final game, and it is in the Sicilian Defense, which is just the moves e4 and c5. After c5, white plays c3 to try and maybe play d4 in the future. So black replies with d5. We have takes and queen takes, and now white plays d4. After d4 we have takes, takes, and knight c6, trying to attack this pawn. Now white plays knight f3, just defending this pawn one more time. Black plays bishop g4. He wants to pin this knight so that the pawn can have another attacker, because the main base of play is all based around trying to win this pawn. So now what white does is he attacks the queen with knight c3. Queen goes all the way back to d8. We have d5 attacking the knight. And now black makes a huge blunder and plays knight e5. And now white has a completely winning move here, and I'll give you a couple of seconds to see if you can find it. Well done if you managed to find it, and the move is actually knight takes e5. And you might be wondering, well, why isn't white's queen just hanging? And well, can you see the continuation if black decides to play bishop takes d1? Well, the move that white plays is actually bishop b5 check. And you can see this is actually almost checkmate. The reason it isn't checkmate is because black has to block with the queen. So although we did give our queen up a couple of moves ago with knight takes e5, we are just winning it back. And the reason this is so good for white is because now after we take, obviously black can't take the bishop because it's defended by the knight. So now king comes to d8, and now the knight has a fork, and we pick up this rook, and black's bishop is still attacked, and now white is up just way too much material. His king is going to get attacked, and yeah, that is the end of the story, really. And that is going to be it for today's video in miniatures. I hope you liked it. Please leave a comment, maybe what is your favourite one. Be sure to like, subscribe, and make sure you have post notifications turned on so that you never miss a video. And yeah, I really do put a lot of effort into these videos, so if you could just, you know, get those engagement rates up, make sure you leave a comment and like, I'd really appreciate it. So yeah, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.